Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Eastern Lariat podcast, your show for news, notes, reviews, and opinions on the world of Japanese pro wrestling here on cagematch.net. I'm your host, Strigger, and I am, of course, joined by Dylan. And Dylan, we got some more stuff to talk about. We found a perfect day in time to record the show just in between G1 shows. It worked out for the both of us. Not expecting that to be working out in the next week or so because I will be gone once again. But here we are today talking about the wrestling, Dylan.
I'm so glad we got to do the show. I missed all the people. I want to talk to them as much as possible. And I want to talk to you as much as possible, Striga. There's always an emptiness in my heart when we're not doing the show. But there is big news that we need to talk about. And I want to put this out there for all the listeners. It has nothing to do with wrestling. This is a non-wrestling segment right now. The unthinkable has occurred, Striga. Long-time Eastern Lariat listeners, you know one thing about me, and that's that I am a lifelong Yu-Gi-Oh player. And recently, and I mean very recently, I mean like just a couple of days ago, I got into Magic the Gathering. And
no!
That's right. This is something I had no knowledge of.
And this is Swerve. I had no knowledge of this before. Dylan has not told me about that. It's new to me as well.
Yes, that's right. Breaking news to everyone. Now, big shout out to our listener Dean, who former guest on the show. He is the one that planted the seed within me, I have to say, because he's kind of bored with Japanese wrestling at the moment, and he got really into Magic the Gathering. And I was like, man, I've never really played this before. So he got me into it. And then the real kill shot of it all, I would not have spent the money. I mean, it wasn't like an exorbitant amount, but still, I wouldn't have spent on the decks to get these decks were it not for the Final Fantasy crossover with Magic the Gathering. So I have become obsessed with making this. I do not really fully understand the rules to this game, Striga. I'm sure you have no idea either.
I think I played it. I played once when I was around 15, and it wasn't for me, so I never went back. So I couldn't help you out with that either. And I wanna address the Yu-Gi-Oh people here listening to this.
I have not left.
You can let it slide. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're doing both. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I have not given up on Yu-Gi-Oh! The problem is the people locally. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show, but I was recently in a Mortal Kombat tournament locally, which I finished second place in, by the way. I did make the final.
Was it a real life Mortal Kombat tournament or a video game tournament?
Well, yeah, yes. Nobody died in this.
Okay.
We were playing Mortal Kombat. And I did make the final of it, by the way. If I lost, I wouldn't be here if it was a real-life Mortal Kombat. Although in the movie, I guess you don't have to hit the fatality. You can just let him fall down in Mortal Kombat. But the people here locally really play Magic a lot more than Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Final Fantasy crossover really had me intrigued. I mean, I have gone out of my way to get as many people as I can. And Nello, my co-host on Wrestle Update, is another Magic player. It's like everybody was kind of pushing me in this direction. So I did do this, and I made sure to update the rules, because I don't know if you're aware of this, Striga. There's not just standard rules in Magic. There's now commander rules, where the standard deck has 60 cards, but the commander deck has 100 cards. So I couldn't really play.
It's literally stacking the deck.
Exactly. And I could not play a commander with the starter kick, which was like, again, pretty basic. It's like you have a Cloud deck and a Sephiroth deck on there. And like they're pretty good, but I really wanted more. And I have to say, and this is where this is all going ultimately. First of all, if we do have any Magic fans, feel free to comment to me and let me know what is the best way to play this game. Like, what am I doing in this? Because in Yu-Gi-Oh! I played for a million years. I had the show to help me understand when I was a kid. Like, I've been playing this since I was single digits, probably. With Magic, there is no anime. There is no Yugi Muto to help me. There is no, Jaden. No Yusei, who was my guy, ultimately. I don't have any of that. So please help me understand this game. I know, dating all the way back, my first mention of Magic the Gathering that I knew, because when I was a kid playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In person, playing at Books A Million tournaments every weekend, I did not even really know what Magic was. It wasn't that popular, to be honest. The only time I heard it was big shout out to my friend and an amazing legend in this game, John Pollock, for Post Wrestling, talking about his Magic the Gathering experience and his wonderful Jester's Cap card. With the Final Fantasy card, all of them are based on characters. But this is the part I hate, guys, and I want either a defense or an agreement needs to be had with me. And maybe I think even you might be able to jump in on this one. So the dynamics of the game, there's 5 colors, right? And each card has maybe 1 color, maybe 2 colors, maybe 3 colors if it's a major, mystic card or whatever. You need all of that stuff to kind of let them go and attack and all that crap. But the way the dynamics work is a lot of the cards that would be together in the game, like the people, the characters that would be usable in the game, you really have to work super hard to use them. For example, I think most people would agree, and I know that there are some certain people out there that will disagree, but I try not to pay attention to those kind of people. And I'm sorry to say if you are this kind of person. But most people would agree Cloud and Tifa is the main couple of Final Fantasy VII. It makes perfect sense because Zack and Aerith belong together. Aerith doesn't go with Cloud, Zack and Aerith. Especially with the remake version, which is a complete bullshit story that they're telling with Final Fantasy VII. But regardless, they're the main couple. You cannot use them together. Cloud is a red and white character. Tifa is a green character. How can I use them when you only have 2 colors for standard deck? You cannot use them. It has to be a commander deck. And I think that's probably why they started it. Because these color slots make no sense. And there's other ones that are similarly Squall and Renoa in Final Fantasy VIII, my all-time favorite. Even the maker of Final Fantasy said his favorite scene was them jumping out into space and hugging together. You cannot use them together. They're different colors, black and white and green. You can't even use Squall and Cloud. That's the Dream Team. Kingdom Hearts gave us that. Why can't Magic give us that? So I really have a beef with the makers of this card collection. You did not stack the colors right on the characters. I know that the Final Fantasy and Magic fans will agree with me. I know you've got my back on this. Please do not disrespect Zach Fair in front of me. He is my guy, is all I ask. But besides that, I think we can all agree that they did. And I like the cards. I like the designs of the cards for the most part are very nice and artsy and cool. And I've got some foil cards too that are really nice. But the color scheme does not work. You cannot use these together in standard. You have to go full commander. And that's what made it hard on me, Striga. So now I'm going to have to learn how to actually play this game. And how am I going to do that when I have 3 different tournaments and special shows going on at the same time?
Wow. I mean, that's a lot for me to process right now because this Sunday has already brought me a match in which Zanada pretended to be a technical wrestler once again.
Yes.
I did not have that on the menu. And I did not have you, Dylan, going on a rant about Magic the Gathering on this show on my menu either. So I'm just hoping for you that you eventually figure out and find out how to approach this.
Yes, I jumped in head first with no actual knowledge of this. Thanks to the Final Fantasy.
Good. That's how you play games.
Yes, the Final Fantasy expansion. Who is the best? You've played Final Fantasies, some of them, right?
Nah,
you've heard of them.
Not to it. I played 7 when I was a kid.
Okay.
Played 8 as well. Yes, I did play some of them.
Okay, you have no strong feelings about the couple.
No, not really.
Okay. Out there, even Clive and Jill, even the new school, Final Fantasy 16, Fire and freaking red and blue and white. You can't use them together. It makes no freaking sense. Like on there, none of the couples work together, and it makes me mad because that's my favorite part of 7, 8, 10, and 16 are the stories. And you can't really... Yuna and Titus do go together, I will say, at least. But yes, I will not burden you with the Final Fantasy talk if you have not played it that much. But I watch Final Fantasy Advent Children if you want to get a 2-hour scoop on Final Fantasy VII without actually playing the full game.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So, Dylan, there was a lot about playing tournaments, was a lot about color schemes, and luck just would have it that we're actually having a tournament in pro wrestling where colors also matter, because in Stardom we have 2 color blocks, and they are once again divided into 2 blocks each. So the blue stars and the red stars have block A and block B. Last time we left you, the listeners, was our final topic about the 5-star Grand Prix, and we're going to jump in with that once again here at the beginning of the show. We have the days 2, 3, and 4 that Dylan has watched. I have not, because I wanted to wait for your recommendations, Dylan. Day 5, that they had 2 shows on a Sunday the 3rd, which you have not seen yet, 2 shows from Utsunomiya. So after day 5, we have in Red Stars Block A, Saya Kamitani leading in front of Bia Priestley, 8 and 6 points. Block B is led by Rina, 8 points. Natsuko Tora, 6 points. Then Blue Stars A is led by Ami Surei with 6 points, and Momo Watanabe is in lead of Block B of Blue Stars. So there is a hate dominance throughout this tournament, Dylan.
Yes, and I will catch up with the shows today that I watched. I will be reviewing them on the Patreon, along with the Mario Gold tournament. I have not forgotten the Dream Star Grand Prix, who did a great number, by the way, on night 1. That's worth mentioning, that they were very successful to start out the tournament. So I will catch up on all of those on the Patreon. But for the 3 shows I watched, so here's the deal. These shows are really fast-paced. There's still, like, I get it that they had less matches with a lot of these. Outside of night 4, which had 2 matches going to a draw, a lot of the matches are still very short. So, if you want to watch the tournament, it's not that crazy. Like, watching a lot of these other tournaments. But the problem with that is also a lot of the matches don't have a lot to talk about in them as well. So, for example, in night 2, I thought that the main match on night 2 for me was, when you look at it, the Azumi and Tomoka Inaba match. It does have the highest rating on Cage Match, but it also was just the best match. In all honesty, I thought for sure. Inaba's been one of the MVPs of the tournament, along with the match with Poi that came after this. Both were very good. I would definitely give the recommendation to it. The other matches were all okay, pretty much. Although there was some weird booking choices, I will say, on a lot of these. I'm not going to deny that. But overall, I thought that the May and Lady C match was good. Kamitani and Mizumori was probably the second best match of the show. That was the opener. Another Kamitani in the opener spot on night 2. I didn't really get that at all, but whatever.
They did it twice now. What's that about? Have they explained this or
none
back on this?
None that I know. Like, there's been no explanations that I understand about it. Maybe there is some kind of reason. Maybe she has like some kind of variety shows to do, and she has to like start earlier. Like, that's the only thing I can think of, to be honest, because it really makes no sense. Like I said, Saya should be in the main events, not the openers. Kid and Rian was a good rookie match. I thought it went on a little long, to be honest. They should have cut that in half, in my opinion. B and Azusa, I thought, was underwhelming. I thought Azusa looked really good in the opening night. Even my sister was impressed with Azusa Inaman. She knew nobody in this tournament. Hana and Waka, another 1-minute match. Best use of Waka that you could have. Rina and Carrara and Tora and Natsupoi were not that good, I would say. So just watch Azumi and Tomoka Inaba from the second show. It's got the highest rating. It's a good match. In night 3, in my opinion, the best match wasn't the one with the highest rating, a cage match. I loved Sari and Rana Yagami. This is the Sari we should have gotten. And the booking they did was perfect for her, where she gave Rana a lot, but in the end trounced her and basically embarrassed her and, had a really cocky pin at the end.
That's what should have been happening on the first night, actually.
Exactly. Like, it would have been so much more if she had just won the first night instead of the loss.
You hadn't just lost, right? Yeah,
we talked about that. The Bozilla and Sari booking, I was not a fan of. It
was a big blunder, actually, on the tournament. Yeah, I don't know.
Even though it was, that match was good, don't get me wrong, but the booking was not, overall. I don't agree with it at all. Bozilla also beat Yuri Hime in a dominant fashion, which she should have done on night 1 as well. It's like, okay, we're going to go back on what we should have done. But I think it would have been more if these two were, unstoppable. They've already have, flaws in their armor on night 1. I didn't like it. But Suzu and Momo, not that great, I do have to say. I thought it was okay, though. I think Momo's a little underrated, as always. Sari and Rana, great match, like I said. That was, among the best matches of the tournament, either that or the Hot-On match on night 4 that I saw so far. So that was really good. I really, really enjoyed that Rana Yagami and Sari match. It's got a low, a 6.95 rating. I thought this match was better than the main event, personally. Maybe you guys could watch it. The main event was good, though. Ano and Masaki, that was an average match. I didn't think that was very special. Momo and Konami, I expected, a banger. And then this kind of brought us back down to earth. Oh yeah. But at least they worked a normal match. It wasn't too, shtick heavy or anything like that. But it still showed you, man, 5 or 6 years ago, this would have been a banger. And now we've got, a 3.25 star match here. Main event was good. They're protecting Ami Sourei, and they probably should, going in there. I thought her and Ida had good chemistry. It was a good, big girl power battle. Even though the first thing my sister said when she saw Saida was, wow, she's short. And I was like, everybody's short.
Yeah.
She's just more muscly, so I guess it stands out more. But she was not impressed. She thought she was very short, unfortunately. And she also said that she had the hair of a 90s mom. So, shots fired.
You can't deny that, really?
No? I never thought of it like that until she said it.
But it's true.
Yeah. See, I just put that. Thank you, my sister. She now put it in all of our brains. Night 4. I thought the Rian Carrara match was pretty below average. These two are two rookies, and that's what you're going to get sometimes in this tournament. B and Waka was dumb because they basically had B dominated the match, but then they basically turned it into a flash pin for B at the end. It's do you want her to be the underdog or the dominant one? They don't know. Yeah. They still haven't figured out how to use B, I think, effectively.
It's not that hard, actually.
But they're still having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Inaba and Poi was another good match. Inaba's been the most consistent wrestler. Tomoka has. So she's doing really great. I love Natsupoi's selling as well. They just worked really well together. That was a really good match. Azusa and Saya came across way better than I dreamed. Saya was like so giving, and once again, not in the main event and not in the opener. She's in the middle of the card on night 4. So I don't know what's going on with that. It was one of the things I said in the half-year award show, remember? That Stardom's had a good year, but I really don't like how they book her as champion. She hasn't defended it in 3 months, and she's doing these weirdo match pairings to start off. So I wasn't a big fan. But they went really hard at each other, and it's like, Azusa, despite Saya being the leader of her hate stable, like she was determined to knock her off and prove herself to her. And I thought it led to a great match. Azusa is like really strong as a wrestler. I really enjoy her work. Just like her sister, she did great. That was a great match. Kamatani and Azusa. Lady C and Mizumori was pretty good. I liked it. They did some good stuff. We're in the midst of the Lady C era right now, it looks like, with how they're pushing her, but probably not. They started, Hanan and Meisera was probably the best match of the tournament so far. It's right up there with Sari and Yagami and the match I just talked about with Kamatani and Azusa. Hanan and Meisera was fantastic. They didn't go to a draw where you knew it was going to be a draw. They went all out in Meisera fashion and went the full distance, and it was great. These two have magic chemistry together. Rina Tora was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it personally, but I thought it was very good for the style that Tora does at the end of the day. Rina looked strong from a booking standpoint, at least. Azumi and Kid, this match is going to really... I watched it, and I felt this before I even knew what anybody thought about it. But then when I went on Twitter and saw the reactions, it basically justified exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that sounds great.
If you're a fan of this pairing, you'll love it. If you're not a fan of this pairing, you'll hate it. Because they did this is their match. Like, they did not deviate from it at all. They did their style. So if you liked it before, you'll probably like it this time. It wasn't any better or worse than usual. It was better than the match they had at Grand Queendom, which I thought was very disappointing. And they tried to wrestle more of a normal style match because they were the semi-main. And this was more of the high-speed style. So this was back to what they knew, and I definitely thought it was better than that. But if you don't like their normal matches, you probably won't like this. But I liked it well enough. It doesn't stand out to me the way it once did, but it was fine. It was not as good as Hanan and Meisera, in my opinion, or Azusa and Kamatani. So check out those matches I listed as recommended. You got 1 or 2 on each show. Sorry, Rana, Azusa, Kamatani, and Hanan and Meisera, definitely well worth checking out. And Azumi and Inaba from night 2 as well. So check those out. Really good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good tournament, honestly. It's interesting so far, I have to say. I don't love all of the booking, but I want to see how stuff plays out at least.
I don't think I'll have that much time this coming week, but I will definitely check out some of those. The Princess Cup in TJPW is also going on. I've not checked out that either, so I have lots of tournaments to catch up with, actually.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I'll try and catch up to that too. Another thing to add on to the Patreon. Great value for your $5 right now.
Yes, absolutely. Patreon.com/Eastern Lariat. A tournament that I don't have to catch up on because I've seen all the matches is the G1 Climax 35. Last time we talked about the days up until day 8 of the tournament, and now, Dylan, we have days 9 to 11. Or is that right? Days 8 to 11? I've lost count of that. I don't know. Maybe no. We've not talked about day 8. We've not talked about day 8.
I will say that I put up a review. I have reviews on the of all of the shows up to 9/11, which I'm just finishing watching as we're doing the show. I'm watching Tanahashi and Tsuji as we speak. But I did review all the prior shows on the Patreon if you want, and maybe extended thoughts on there.
Yes. So as things stand, we just had the halfway point of the tournaments, 19 shows overall, with 16 shows actually having block competition. So we've passed the halfway point of that. And after 11 days of the tournament, there's 2 blocks that we can talk about, of course, in contrast to the 4 in a Stardom. Block A is very simple. There are 5 wrestlers with 8 points, and then there are 5 wrestlers with 6 points. It's Yoratsuji, Evil, Yuya Umura, Oleg Bolton, and Roy Oiwa with 8. Taichi, Callum Newman, David Finlay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Zanada with 6 points. So everything is still up in the air for this block. In Block B, it's looking a little differently. There is 5 with 8 as well, with Yoshihashi still in play here. Drilla Maloney, Ren Narita, Zack Sabre Jr., and Konosuke Takeshita with 8. Then Great Khan, Shota Umino, and Shingo Takagi with 6. El Phantasmo with 2, and Gabe Kidd, of course, has dropped out of the tournament. So, Dylan, when I'm looking at the cage match ratings for the shows that we are talking about here, of course, the rating for this one, day 11, is not in yet, that you're watching as we speak. We have the best rated show of the tournament so far. The one from Hiroshima on the 2nd of August has a rating of 7.7. And the one from Osaka, day 8, has 7.49. That's a little below the second best rated show, day 6, with 7.54. Do you agree that day 10 was the best show so far?
I thought the show, it didn't really grab me that much, to be honest. I actually thought night 9 was a good show. Overall, I don't know if that's like
it's a very low rating on Cage Match.
Yeah. I mean, so night 9 you had Finley, Bolton, Taichi, Tsuji, and Uemura Tanahashi, which I thought were all recommended matches.
Yeah, agree.
So I thought that maybe a little underrated. I mean, none of these shows are blow away to me, but I thought that. And day 10 you had Zack and Okan, which it didn't blow me away at all. Like, I thought that was like the worst main event actually of the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if
because usually up to this point, every single show, the main event has been the best match on the show, and I thought this one was a little lacking. Like, compared to, I thought Umino and Yoshihashi and Takeshita and Drilla did good. I like Drilla and Takeshita was like the most basic version of a never match, but it was good. Like, it was a meat and potatoes match.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought
I don't have all the main events in front of me right now, so I can't really say. I thought Zack and Great Khan was a very good match. I wouldn't say I was blown away by it, but it was a match that once again displayed what could have been possible if Great Khan was actually a dude and not a guy who only shows up in the G1 to like be a gatekeeper and then drops off for the remainder of the year. So I thought that the grappling that they did was really nice.
I thought this match was so boring for probably the first 15 minutes of it. I really had no interest in what they were doing. There's a spot where, I mean, this is traditional New Japan match formula. The first part of it sucks, and then the last 5 minutes they turn it on. There's a spot specifically where Okan puts his hands behind his back, like that spot that he does. And from that moment on, the match was awesome. Like, the last 4 to 5 minutes, I thought they really pulled it home great. I thought the first 10 to 15 minutes of this was like well below average. Like, I didn't even think it was average. I thought what the grappling they're doing was very poor and not interesting at all. And I thought that...
I disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that, and so do the cage match users. I'm just reading up on that. I was really invested in that. And also in the first 15, I just sat down and watched a nice grappling match. I was interested in that, actually.
Yeah, I guess it just, I mean, different taste, I suppose. Like you said, under different standards. Because Okan was not impressive, I do have to say. But when you think about it, that should be his game. Like, the real life person is the amateur guy.
Yes.
Of course, they don't ever show that in his character. He's too busy doing comedy stuff for the most part. But overall, it was like they brought it home by the end for me, but it wasn't special. Like, I guess if people liked it, that's fine.
I think I agree with you, though, when I'm looking back on this match, that day 8 was really good. Day 9, I was. Oh, you said day 9, right?
Yeah.
Takamatsu.
Yeah, day 9 I thought was an underrated show.
Yeah, it's a little underrated, but I thought that the show from Osaka was actually better overall. The Tanahashi and Uemura match from night 9, that did a little bit less than I thought it would do for me. It was still good. It was basically Yuya Uemura just emulating Tanahashi's formula for the match. Was good, and he showed some fire as well that we need to see from him. That he goes away from being Wataru Inoue for you. Could have been. I don't know. I'm not really sure what it is, but some excitement for a main event in that position was missing for me.
Well, first of all, we need to not disrespect Mr. High Tension right now. Secondly, I thought this match was good, but not like significantly better than their match from Dominion, which was like one of the better matches.
Yeah, and at Dominion, we figured that in Dominion that they would leave some stuff for another match. Now we had the next match, and we're still figuring, okay, is there still something coming with these two? I'm somewhat hoping that they will revisit the match down the line, even maybe at Wrestle Kingdom.
No, first of all, I don't like that. Not just because I don't think Uemura is that great, but because they've already wrestled twice. Whoever wrestles Tanahashi at the Dome needs to gain something from it. Like Uemura got his gain here, even though it wasn't that much of a gain, in my opinion. We need somebody.
Tanahashi won the last match.
Yeah, but
you know how that works.
Well, I know, but I think that for something this big, like Tanahashi's retirement, the other booking, it doesn't matter. Like going forward, like the other booking, his retirement match is akin to a world championship match overall. And I think it needs to be somebody fresher for him that hasn't beat him yet. And someone who like I just watched lose to him, like literally as we speak, in a fantastic match, by the way.
Yes, it was very, very good.
So yeah, Uemura and Tanahashi. My problem with the main event on this show we're talking about wasn't really Uemura as much, except it was one of his style of matches that like, okay, I'm going to do a lot of arm work, but it never actually goes anywhere. And like Tanahashi didn't really add much to it, I have to say. As much of a Tanahashi fan as I am, he didn't really sell it or go out of his way. Like for Uemura, he was doing his sling blades and everything else. And I think that's a problem with with Uemura. I feel like you need the right person against him to make his style work the best it can. Not that it was bad at all. It was a good main event. I thought it was better than Zack and Okan for sure, but it wasn't special overall. And I thought it was lesser than Taichi and Tsuji on the semi-main. I thought that match was better than the main event personally. Like that was a great match in my opinion.
Yeah. So we already talked about day 8, and you talked about the match on day 8 with Shingo and Shota Umino. I thought that was a very interesting match as well, because of course you had Umino losing the one was it at Dominion too? I think it was at Dominion.
No, that was in May. That was on Talk.
In May.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It was in May. So Umino once again came away losing this match. And it was, of course, because Shingo Takagi had to get more points. The match structure was really interesting with Shingo Takagi. He wanted to show that Shota Umino is a fraud. That was his mission in this match. And yes, he won the match, but I don't think that the character Shingo Takagi was expecting Shota Umino to show as much fight, as much fire as he in the end did. So that, much like the Zack Sabre match, I think that helps Shota Umino really to develop a character in a really tough position that he is right now in 2025 in the middle of the year. And clearly show that what happened at Wrestle Kingdom is, of course, you can't erase this situation and the match and the main event and how badly it performed. But Shota Umino is on a way to improve both his in-ring and his character right now.
I agree about the character, and I really enjoyed that Zack and Umino match. That, to me, is still one of the best matches in the tournament. I thought the Shingo match was such a downgrade from their May match, and I'll tell you why. The May match was all out bangers. Like, they had legit heat with each other.
That's right.
And Shingo decided, okay, we're going to beat the shit out of each other. Like, I'm going to get my revenge on you for that monkey stuff. You're trying to hurt my career. And Shota's like, okay, well, I'll fight back. And that match was great. I love that match. This match, they decided, I'm going to do a 25-minute limb work match on Shingo. Shingo's not going to bother selling any of it. We're just going to go back to my normal finisher stuff. It's not going to really affect anything. And overall, the action points of the match were good. I still think Umino, in the first match, he had great hit. And I said this in my review on the Patreon. For whatever reason, his next match, I thought he did a way better job in terms of showing, like, intent with his striking. I thought compared to Shingo, Umino's strikes were very weak in this match, and compared to Umino in the last time they fought. And even in the match with Yoshihashi, I thought Umino did much better. But for some reason, I felt like he was not going as hard on Shingo as Shingo was on him. And I thought it kind of made for an uneven match. It wasn't a bad match, but I definitely would say if somebody asked me about this pairing, I'm immediately pointing to the main
I think
match.
the idea of the match was it to be an uneven match. I agree with the strikes that didn't look as fierce as they could, but I think the idea was that it was supposed to be uneven.
Why was there so much legwork stuff going on then with Umino?
Well, that's a good question. That is,
yeah.
I mean, as I said, he's improving his wrestling, but there are still, of course, parts that leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't think Shingo did that great, actually, in his role either. I thought it was a good match, but it's like at 3 1/4 level to me. Like nothing's too special.
So the main event from that show, as I'm going through the match guide on Cage Match, is actually the second highest rated match so far from the G1 Climax. Would you agree?
I don't have all the matches.
Of course, Zack Sabre Jr. and Konosuke Takeshita.
It was a great match. Like, it's up there. But at the same time, my feeling watching it, I was like, man, I really wanted more from these two. Like,
I can see that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it was really good. And the finish, I've seen like some controversy over the finish where once again, they basically repeated what happened with Oleg and Tsuji, where Takeshita tried to carry Zack and climb the rope while he had him in a submission, but he slipped and fell off. And I liked it. Some people were like, that was kind of a clunky finish. I thought it made it seem a little bit more realistic. The way that it would have went over the top for me, and this is where I think they messed up. He should have tapped when he fell. It should have been a panic tap immediately, and like that would have made it seem like totally real. And I thought that would have been a great finish. But instead, they had him struggle for like all this time and then tap. And I thought, okay, well, it was obviously like it was okay. I still liked it. I liked the idea. I didn't hate it. Some people said it was bad. I didn't think that.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I just wish it had been a flash tap, and like that would have seemed like so more real to me. As a match, again, I liked what we saw. It was good, but when you see these two names, you're expecting, okay, this is for sure one of the best matches of the tournament. And when I left, it probably still is, but it wasn't a standout to me over a bunch of other matches that I can name. But I thought it was definitely like one of the best matches. It was like definitely a 4-star, 8 out of 10 level match to me.
Yep. So let me look at where is there is Taichi Dylan. We talked about him very early on in the tournament. Yeah, that he is the MVP of the tournament. And now we're like he was facing, of course, like we said on the last show, he was facing Evil and Zanada, and you couldn't expect like good match quality out of those matches. So he faced Yota Tsuji, and he immediately rebounded with a very, very good match. I came away liking that a lot, and him picking up the win over Tsuji leaves a lot open for the next coming months, right?
Yes, on paper. Do I think they're going to do anything with him? No. Because of who's booking.
There's possibilities, of course.
There is. They've given him respect in this tournament, to be fair.
I mean, there's still some big shows coming up. We have Destruction, we have whatever is in October. again. There is power struggle in November, so there's possibility to slot him in at least one match to have another guy.
Here's the problem.
Win.
Here's the problem. He's the tag champion right now.
He's the tag champion.
That means he's slotted.
Yes, right now. we'll see how that goes after the G1.
I just don't think they have many big plans for him, unfortunately. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. They've given him respect.
After this tournament, they should reconsider, actually.
No, they should. They 100% should. He should be a main player. But they don't use him.
But I know where you come from. They probably have the last couple of months of the year already laid out, and there is no room for him. I know that. Just you wish there would be something.
I do wish that. He's been one of the best guys in the tournament. Again, him and Tsuji to me was one of the that match stood out more than the Takeshita and Zack match. Like Taichi.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, and all
Taichi even had I would say he had the best Royal Oil match as well today.
Yeah, that was another strong match. Like he's done. Yeah. Taichi is nothing but hits. Like in this tournament, he's done his best. Even against Sonata, it was better than expected. But really, when he's given a chance, Taichi has ruled, and he deserves credit. He's up there to me with among the best players, along with Tsuji. I would put, especially after his Tanahashi match. I just saw. I think him and Tsuji have really been the guys, and I think Takeshita and B Block has been the main guy, and you could throw Zack in there as well. Like again, I don't love. I personally don't that much, but I acknowledge that he is very good.
Yes, another guy from Block A that I wanted to talk about is Callum Newman. We quickly talked about him off the air, Dylan. After I've watched the match that he had against was it on day. Yes, against Oleg Bolton. Yeah. Yes, especially that one stood out to me because it was two guys that made their debut last year in the G1 Climax. While the one, Oleg, performed very well last year, we weren't too much of a fan of Callum Newman's run last year. This match, though, I thought both guys really, really did well. Newman specifically has this alleged back injury now, which he can feed off, especially in a situation where he's still a young wrestler and needs to hold on to something. And I think he did that really well against Oleg, and Oleg was a perfect foil for that because of all of his moves that will target your back, specifically the kamikaze. And they did this great mid-match kamikaze, which was kind of a Samoan drop version of it, which I thought looked really great. And both guys, I mean, that's not easy to do in a situation like that, coming off the ropes, being thrown up, and then immediately going to the move. Both guys performed that really well. And Callum Newman, I'm beginning to turn a corner on him. We've talked about him a couple of times before after the Hiroki Goto match that has unleashed something in him. And I'm now at the point where I'm completely fine that this guy is in the G1 Climax.
I think there's no way you can say he's not been improved from last year. I also have to give Oleg some credit. On the last episode, I mentioned how he was getting kind of formulaic and not as good as last year. And I still think he's not as good as last year, but I've noticed that he's tried to do some different things, particularly with the kamikaze. So I don't know if he heard that, but it sounded like after I said that, he started to do some different things. And I appreciated that. I thought he really... Something that stands out about him, too, that doesn't really happen with the other... a lot of the younger guys. I always feel like he's trying his best in every match. He puts a little bit extra in a lot of his stuff. For example, they did... And one thing that's really, really, really irritated me watching this tournament, and I mentioned it on the last episode, every single show and pretty much every single match starts off with going to the floor and throwing into the guardrail over and over and over. In the Oleg and Finley match, they did send him into the guardrail, but they did it at least a different way, where normally you just grab a guy and throw him into the guardrail. And Finley and Oleg, they had Finley shove Oleg from the apron, and Oleg flew into the guardrail and like really put his all into it.
Yeah, and there was one more instance of Finlay being just a great power guy and throwing guys around that are much bigger than him.
Yeah, Finlay's awesome. But we knew that already. Even though I still hate his booking so much, but still, Oleg did a really good job in that match. I thought he did another good job here as well to get the most out of Newman, and Newman has definitely improved. I kind of said my piece on him on the last episode, but he's still got a ways to go. I'm not ready to crown him as the main event player yet, and I think that's another problem I have. Maybe some of these guys, like Wayne Murray, a good wrestler and all of that, I don't see a lot of star potential with a lot of these guys. And with Newman, I still don't really see it. But I do think his work has improved. And I think, like you said, like we said, the Goto match was a turning point.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to get mine a little bit more out of him. I also like the new gimmick that Newman has. The last couple of matches, since his match with Finlay where he scored the upset, pretty much every match, he starts off on the attack. Like he jumps his opponent right away. And I like that. Like, I think that's a good way. And I said it before, the Prince of Pace. Him being the fast guy, Yoshino style, is not going to work because he's not that fast. Ultimately, like the Prince of Pace is not that fast. But if you work that into, okay, if he gets one move, suddenly he'll have 5 moves. Like he strings stuff together in a row and control the match. That way of the Prince of Pace can work. And I think he's leaning into that a lot more than what we saw last year with him just being a fast guy, quote unquote. And he's not actually that fast. So I think he's really honed into that a lot better. So I like what he's done. I like the way he's worked. And I like the way he started off every match and kind of added a new wrinkle to his gimmick, attacking right away. So I like that a lot.
One more point on Oleg Bolton. What I noticed today in his match against Newman was what you talked about earlier with him. So during the pinfall that he scored on Callum Newman after the kamikaze, he would hook the leg, and then you could see, the camera shot was perfect for that, you could see him holding his fist and shaking his fist in expecting to win this match. And that was a nice little detail of this guy really wanting to win the matches that he is in and doing everything for that.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always said that I liked about him. Like even last year, he is one of the ones that I think he wrestles with the intent to win the match, and that's why he appealed to me so much before. And yeah, I like what he's doing. He's still very good. I hope that he can have that one big match that he can really like latch on to in this tournament.
So from the final show that we've seen so far, day 11, we talked about the Oiwa and Taichi match, which was good. Sanada and Yoomura was somewhat comedic because it seemed like that Sanada came out to do a proper wrestling match. Ugh. But then in the end, it all fell apart, and he once again won the match with a guitar shot.
Triple J. Japanese Jeff Jarrett.
El Fantasma was on commentary, and he noted that Sanada's outfit looked like a shower curtain. And then they had a discussion on commentary about what the shower curtains look like. Dadan, what color is your shower curtain?
Well, I have white shower curtains, but they have colorful dots on them, like spots. So you get blue and yellow and red. And so I've got a mix of all kinds of colors. What about yours?
I have a light blue one.
That's my color.
There's I'm just looking at it right now, and there's lighthouses in a darker blue on the curtain.
Well, first of all, I do have to question, why are you looking into your bathroom right now as we're recording this show? What's going on in the bathroom, Striga?
Because I'm walking around as we're recording the show, because I am free with my new headset,
Okay, like I said, you're on the go. All right. Yes, I respect that.
Making some steps, I'm counting steps.
Okay, I respect it. I respect that a lot on there. So I have the pro mic, so I'm stationary. I do have to admit, but hopefully everyone can hear us well, and you can hear our wonderful discussion on shower curtains that we joined in with El Phantasmo and Walker Stewart about, because that was more interesting than talking about this match. Oh, and even they knew so. Hey, let me ask you something.
They knew. Yes.
Who do you think's been the best guest commentator?
I was about to ask you as well. Yes. I like Rocky a lot.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because he adds a lot of depth to the matches and to the individual techniques that the wrestlers use in their matches. But I like that they switch it up.
Yeah, me too.
I think that El Phantasmo is the most entertaining one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not too much of a fan of Driller. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I said about him, I was like, he's rough around the edges. I kind of like his style a little bit because he's the rare commentator, and maybe it's just because he's shy and doesn't want to talk. But he doesn't he's not going 100 miles an hour. A lot of times he lets the action speak for itself. And I think a lot of guys there just want to talk and fill up time, whereas he actually doesn't say that much. It's not great, but I kind of like that it's a different style with Drilla.
Yes, absolutely. On one talking point that El Phantasmo had on the show, I wanted to pick up on that as well, which is why I'm glad that you brought it up. So, on commentary, El Phantasmo said that there is an unwritten rule backstage that you put on your best performance in the main events so that everybody else on the card knows they have to pay respect to the main event matches. And Josh from the We Work Stiff podcast backed up on that. They had El Phantasmo on their show a couple of years ago, and Josh said he openly talked about the responsibility you have on undercards to respect the people who drew the interest/attention and the desire to get those spots and to show your best. So what do you think about that unwritten rule, that supposed unwritten rule?
With all due respect, that sounds absolutely ridiculous to me. You should all, and maybe that's why Ishii's not in the tournament. He kept having so many strong matches that he would overshadow.
Can't have that anymore.
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? We don't want you to do your best. Like, we want you to hold back so the main eventers can look better. What?
You know, Dylan, you didn't like the match as much as I and others did, but even El Phantasmo went against that rule when he wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. in a match that came away really, really well.
Yeah, it's funny because I got some backup on the comments on that that match was not that good. So I
know, I saw that.
Yeah, so there are some people that agree with me.
I mean, I expected that. I mean, there surely are people in the cage match comment that agree as well. But overall, it came away very well liked.
Yeah, and you're right. I guess like the effort was there for that match.
So maybe there is an exception for the world champion that if he's in a second or third position, that he's allowed to wrestle a great match.
I don't understand that at all. I think that every match should try their best to. Like you should never take a night off in the G1 Climax. If it's a regular show, like, okay, I get that. But in the G1, you better be busting your ass to try to win this tournament and win this belt, brother.
I mean, I get the idea that there has to be somewhat of a build for a show, right?
Yeah.
That is why I was always... I didn't really like the PWG formula.
Yeah,
because it was so exhausting. It was so exhausting because every match pretended to be a main event, and in every single match they went all out, did kickouts left and right, did high spots left and right.
Yeah, it was the same style.
I was never a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, same style. But here, that is a different idea. I mean, we have the tournament that we talk about that a lot. I mean, it's the tournament for the number one position to wrestle the world champion on the biggest stage possible. So even if you're the first match of the G1, you should bring your A game. And you should not hold back because Tanahashi and Tsuji are in the main event.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, again, I fully believe that what ELP is saying is true. I just don't agree with that strategy, particularly in the G1. If you're in the undercards, you don't have to try that. If you're in the meaningless tag matches, nobody cares. It's fine. But if you're in the G1, every match counts. Like 2 points in the main event is 2 points in the opener. You know, like 2 points is 2 points. So I don't understand that way of thinking from a kayfabe, but from like you said, from a fan perspective, I agree with you. I didn't like that PWG style that much. Like I was one of the ones that was against all that. So I really agree with you on that. But I think with New Japan, and especially the tournament, the ideal version of this tournament would be that you have so many different styles collectively that somebody could go all out and be a great grappling style match and maybe appeal to me. And then you could have the great power match where, you know, that can appeal to a different type of people. The high flying style, you could see that. Everybody can do their best, but it's everyone coming together on the card that every match gives you something different. Even like a heel House of Torture style. I mean, I don't like it how it is now, but
I mean, it can be entertaining.
You could have a heel guy in there that can do some heel stick, on there. Kind of what they do in Stardom with Hate.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have different styles. You can have a comedy guy. I'm a fan of every.
We did have different styles on this show here. We were just talking about with Oleg and Newman was different from Oiwa and Taichi. Then Zanada and Yumura once again was different. Finlay and Evil just going into the direction that you just talked about was yes, it was garbage.
Yeah.
It was but in the end it was fun how easily Finlay put Evil away. That makes you wonder why that was so hard in the match that I had at Dominion.
Yeah, and another issue I had with this match and also the Uemura match with Tanahashi, they were fighting. Well, this match is going to suck no matter what because Evil is just like irredeemably bad pro wrestler in every aspect, in my opinion. But the Uemura Tanahashi match, there was no way Uemura was not going to win that match after Tanahashi beat him at Dominion. So I wasn't even that interested in the finish and stuff in that match either. I forgot to bring that point up earlier. In this match, Finlay was winning this match. Like, there was no possible way outside of something bad happening that Finlay was going to lose this. He already lost to Evil at Dominion, got humiliated again during the tournament with the Pit Tantrum that I just hated to high heaven. And I know you didn't like it either. He was going to win this match. So there was no real interest in anything happening. I just wanted it to be over with as soon as the bell rang. And so it was like double painful. Like, not only it was bad objectively, but it was even worse because where is this going? We know he's going to win. Just hurry this up. Like, move this along, please. And it still went forever. And it's like,
Yes, so to summarize, we're not a fan of this alleged rule backstage. I mean, you said it probably is a real thing that they care about, but we've set our piece on that. So, after they all held back, Dylan, Tanahashi and Yodatsuji had the main event. It went 16-46. Tanahashi ultimately put Yodatsuji away with the high fly flow. Once again, shaming me because, of course, Tanahashi was going for his 100th victory in the G1 Climax. But I now, after his last loss, was under the assumption that it may be coming after... maybe coming against Evil on the final day, and we had to wait until that because specifically I was thinking that Yodatsuji would lead the block after this day. So I once again need one of your apology formulas.
Yes, form.
Yes, I need more of those. You can print some more.
You already signed it. You're already good. You already signed the first one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tanahashi and Tsuji, though.
I thought this match ruled, to be honest with you. Even just watching it while recording this show, they really grabbed me when I watched it. I thought that, like you, I'm totally in agreement with you. I thought for sure Tanahashi was going to lose out and then get his last win against Evil on the last day. With him winning, and again, Tsuji has been the man to me. Like, he's the guy, he carries himself like a superstar. He wrestles great. I like that he tries different things in all of his matches. Like, he is the one to me. Like, I look at him and I'm like, how could you not, like, this is the one. Like, this is your guy right here. I was shocked that Tanahashi won. I had to mute my microphone because I let out a little bit of a noise when he hit the high fly flow. Just like I said, just like 10, 20 minutes ago.
I was sure Tsuji's knees would go up.
I know. I thought so too, but he did it. He got the win. Now, though, so this was a great match. We agree. Like, overall, this is one of the better matches of the tournament, in my opinion. Yeah. I'll have to go over and reread my rankings. But this and the Taichi match for Tsuji has been two of the best, I would say. He's really coming along strongly. I think that now that Tanahashi's won, though, in my opinion, I think they need to find a way to have him alive on that day.
Yeah.
And do what I said in my predictions, which was Evil would eliminate him on the last day to get revenge for the Dome, pretty much. He faces Sonata.
Yeah.
That could be a win. And that could keep him alive on the last day. Pretty much. Like if Bolton could beat Evil and Tanahashi beats Sonata.
It would even make sense. So Tanahashi beats Sonata, and then Evil takes revenge not only for the loss in the Tokyo, but also for the House of Torture in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. So if Finley, Tanahashi, and Bolton can win on the next night, everybody can be alive, and they can have Evil eliminate Tanahashi in a heartbreaking moment. And I think that's the best use of Tanahashi at this point. I mean, I don't love it that it's Evil that's getting put over, but I know that's Tanahashi's guy. I know that he loves him, and always saw a lot in him back to 15 years ago. So I don't hate it. It's a good storytelling device. And I think it's a good use of Tanahashi's tournament if they do that. If he just goes out and loses to Sonata and gets eliminated, I just think that's kind of a waste of all of it. But, I mean, if we're being really honest, and I made this point on the Patreon, I think it's really easy when you look at these houses to blame Zack Sabre Jr. for being like a completely negative draw and hurting the company. And you would be right if you did that. But Tanahashi's not exactly blowing things away in A Block either. Like this show here was than before, but still down from May. Like even night one of Dontaku. Like this is the same building Dontaku was, and it was still down.
Yeah, but it was though up. They did a doubleheader in the same building last year. It was up from that significantly.
Oh, well, see that's the first good news we've had all tour.
No, they have done better. The last couple of shows did better, not significantly, but on a very small margin, they did better than last year's shows.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that tells you there, like maybe things are going a little bit better for them on here. But a lot of
I can't really say that because it's not that significant, to be quite honest. Like the Takamatsu show did like 30 more fans than last year, and Hiroshima, I think also like they did 1972 last year in Hiroshima, and now they did 2002.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, like, so even that Hiroshima show and Hiroshima Sun Plaza, okay, they did better last year. That's down 1,000 from April.
Yeah.
Which was like Bishamon and Newman and Okan in the main event. That was a bad number. Like, okay, maybe it was better than last year, but that's still a very bad number overall. So yeah, I guess if you compare it to what was already bad last year, it's not as bad. But if you compare it in reality, it's still very bad. And I think you would have wanted a lot more from Tanahashi's retirement.
Yeah, makes you wonder what's the issue there. There's multiple.
Yeah, exactly. We went over this on the last episode.
Exactly. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least for some shows, they were able to at least hold the same number of fans, approximately.
I don't think they're happy with that, but
no, they surely can't be happy.
Yeah. Like so that's like a
they should be reconsidering the formula of this tournament, but I think business strategy will tell them otherwise.
As I said, in my opinion, I think they need to downsize. Like just 10 shows, all tournament matches. Like, drop the stupid tags. Just, I get it. It's cool that you're pushing Jacob Austin Young on the undercards in these meaningless matches, but we don't need that. Like, just kill this 19 show tour and try and build your shows up better. And, and I think that would help. But I mean, who knows? Like, who knows where they're going to go? Again, having a stronger world champion would also help. I would say a lot. We'll see if they heed those words going forward.
Yeah. So you said about Block A, we have on the final night of block action for Block A, we have Yuya Omura versus Finlay. That could be a deciding match. We have Tanahashi and Evil. That will be a deciding match. Tsuji goes against Newman, Roy Oiwak against Sanada, and Taichi against Oleg. Block B. Of course, El Phantasmo will gain points on that final night because he would have been against Gabe Kidd. There's Shota Umino against Great Khan. Shota Umino will surely get revenge on the Great Khan for the loss earlier this year. Yoshihashi and Zack Sabre is the one that's interesting, how they approach that. If the upset is still in play.
To be honest with you, because we had a lot of talk on the last episode, like, oh, how are they going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Like with Gabe Kidd having to give up all these matches. When you really look at it, it's really not a problem. Like they have all of these guys still in play. Like they're going to be fine. Like what? Yeah, like they could do whatever they wanted.
They were lucky that they had so many tiebreakers still in play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and,
that's helping them a lot. So
yeah, exactly.
Shota Umino versus Great Khan, Yoshihashi against Zack Sabre Jr., Konosuke Takeshita versus Renarita. I think that's going to be the one for the block victory.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, yeah. So, and Shingo and Drilla, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because everybody's in play. Like, so I'm not sure what they're going to try and do. Like, that show you're talking about is 3 shows down. Like, 2, so who knows what's going to change.
They've put a lot of respect behind Renarita in this tournament. Being the
world champion. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think he would beat Zach, but I knew that they were going to push him. Like, they always give the House of Torture guys respect. Who do you think's going to advance now from B block? Like, do you have any changes from where you were before?
Yeah, I might have a change with Shota Umino. I think he's advancing. I think it's going to be now as things look, it's going to be Takeshita, Zack, and Umino, I think.
Yeah, before the tournament, I thought Takeshita and Shota were locks, and the third was kind of up in the air. I think Zach's probably the logical choice as well, but that wouldn't work if my Yoshihashi upset plays off. It was just be weird. Like, it just would have anyway, but that's fine. Like, I knew that they were gonna do what they're gonna do. I really liked the Yoshihashi and Shota match. I thought again Umino brought it a lot more than he did against Shingo actually. In terms of making his strikes matter, the fans were into it. They had a really good. It was like not an important match, but it felt like the first time that Yoshihashi had got the chance to have a good match, and I thought he delivered pretty good there. So that was a good match. I just think it's going to be tough. Like Drilla, they've showed respect towards. Like Narita's always an option. And you've got Shingo if you want to go to old reliable, the type of deal. Let's see. Umino will get the points from Kidd on the forfeit there.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins between Shingo and Zack? Because I think that could go a long way if Zack advances or not.
I think it should be Zack. Because unless if Shingo wins, there would be another title match down the line, and they did that already this year.
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think whoever beats Zack matters in terms of title matches. Like, I think he's going to lose it in October anyway. To whoever wins this tournament.
If they do it in October again, we don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they didn't announce it makes me think they will, but I guess, anything could happen. But I think he's going to have to lose to either Shingo or Drilla, or it'll just get boring. Like, if he just wins both matches, he'll have already won the block by the last night.
That's right.
So, I mean, I guess you could do that if you want. You could have Yoshihashi upset him and he just wins the block anyway, like if you wanted. But I don't think Zack's going to go undefeated in the last 3 matches. So who would be your choice to win between Shingo, Drilla, and Yoshihashi?
between those three to advance or to?
I don't think any of them are advancing, but just to beat Zach.
Yeah, if that's possible, still I would love to see Yoshihashi get the upset victory, like we said, like my prediction and your prediction was.
Yeah, and like I said, I still think since Zach's,
since Zach already defeated Takeshita, maybe Shingo.
Yeah, like I said, I just think they want him to lose to keep it more interesting on the final night more than anything, and not have him run away with the block. Because then it's like Takeshita's going to move forward, and then Zach's going to move forward, and then you're in this weird spot, like on the last show.
Actually,
I
know that there should be lots of people alive on the final nights. I think that's something that we discussed last year already too.
Yeah,
I don't like it that both blocks are so even.
I agree.
It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign of creativity that both blocks look virtually the same. And I think that block B would look like block A if Kid wasn't out.
Yeah, it'd be basically the same.
There should actually be one block where there is a runaway winner and the other is hard fought for.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I thought we saw that in the junior tournament where A block nobody got put over, like everybody was tied, and then the B block they had a 2 or 3 guys alive on the last night, and this obviously you have 3 people advancing, so that's a little harder to do that.
Exactly,
but yeah. I totally agree with your point, though.
If it was up to me, it's the world champion. Have him win the 3 matches, and that's good and all, especially because he lost early on.
Yeah.
But they surely will do some shenanigans with that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just thinking about how they book because I'm like you know me. I'm always in favor of the strong champion. So like that, you could never go wrong with a champion beating everybody to make his big loss that much better. They kind of blew that with him anyway because he lost a couple of matches early in the tournament. Like I said, I thought one of the best years they did it was when Okada and Cobb did their thing and both went undefeated before the last show.
That's right.
And that led to a major match, which was a great story that they told.
But they still had the different formula that only the block winner was advancing at that point.
You're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on paper, that should make it easier then. If you have somebody dominant, you still have 2 spots that you could have guys fight over on the last day. You could have Waddy way up there and 5 other guys alive. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know why they don't do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it.
No, and it makes everybody look so even. And when you look at the company, that's really not the case. And it's only in the tournament. It's only in the tournament when stuff like that happens.
And on top of it, it's the last thing this particular company needs right now. But because all of these guys that are the same are not good enough. Ultimately, you're not drawing big houses. I'll say this. Anecdotal evidence, it's a small sample size. But when I did the review on night 10, that was like... I did that at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That was 12 hours after the show ended for me. And there wasn't a single review on night 10 at that point. We've got some after the fact. But that tells me normally there's all kinds of people running in to talk about the show. And I think a lot of people have kind of checked out of this tournament already. And it's going to happen always.
So. I think so. There's not a lot of engagement on Twitter as well. Weekend shows are different. But when there's shows during the week, there's really low engagement online when you watch it live.
Well, I mean, night 10 was yesterday, on Saturday, and there still wasn't anything going on. So I just think people are checked out, and it's going to happen on these dog days of the tournament. But this was more pronounced than usual. Okay, for example, everybody points to, and I've seen it a lot already, talking about how the Reiwa guys aren't over because in 2023 they booked things so bad. With the 4 blocks, they were all in the same block, and Kaito was there, and Hikuleo advanced, and blah blah blah. But during that tournament, everybody was super engaged during that. Like, everybody was arguing with me, demanding that I accept that Kaito will advance and move forward. People were talking about the tournament, fantasy booking, having fun. In this tournament, it's like, and that's kind of my whole deal with this tournament and why it's really hard for me. And it's really unsatisfying for me to watch this, to be honest. This stuff is boring. Like, nothing feels like it matters. It feels like they're just going to go to their obvious tropes. Once again, like we talked about with Tanahashi, like we talked about with Finley. Hey, they broke the mold a little bit with having Tanahashi win against Tsuji, at least. So maybe they'll do some different stuff to make it more interesting. But now that you've actually brought it up, these blocks are just a blob. Like, there's nobody standing out. Even in the tournament, there's a handful of guys that I would say, okay, X, Y, and Z have had great tournaments and made the best of what they've dealt with. But it's far from a top to bottom, banger class where you're like, yes, like, this is what tournament wrestling is about. I don't feel that way at all. I don't think it's interesting, and I don't think it's particularly good, like, is how I would describe this tournament from top to bottom. And that's a real shame. Because you have great talent if you look at the people here, like, in the tournament.
Yep.
Maybe they'll turn it around, like the last few days. Maybe they'll have some great plan to make these last few days really and grab people again. I mean, even last year, like, yes, I'm not a big fan of his, but they at least made the effort to put over Okan and give him a shock win and at least have somebody new come in. So maybe there's somebody outside of left field that's going to advance that kind of gives us something to latch onto.
Maybe we'll see it.
Someone like Owen.
Yeah, maybe. We will find out surely in next coming days and weeks up until the 17th when the tournament concludes. Yes, so much I think for now for New Japan Pro Wrestling, Dylan. Let us turn our attention to our final talking point today. All Japan Pro Wrestling, they also had a tournament. We talked about that last show as well, and that tournament concluded today in Ota City General Gymnasium with a crowd that I thought when I watched the show live, the crowd looked really good. I was kind of afraid, to be honest, that the All Japan fan base would not be too invested in a junior heavyweight main event, but it turned out really well, and it turned out to be the right decision to have this tournament at this point in time in the year, because they drew a house of a little bit over 2,000 fans. That's still down from their other two Ota Ward shows they did this year, but not significantly down. And it's really a first that All Japan Pro Wrestling put so much respect on junior heavyweights. It was a gamble, it was an experiment, but I think it worked out really well with that crowd. So the other ones, they did 2,200 and 2,000, a little bit over 2,000 as well for the March show in Ota Ward. So I think you can count this as a business success for All Japan Pro Wrestling in this building. And I think you can also count this show overall as a big success.
Yeah.
And I really hope that this show is going to be a turning point in the company. We talked about it last time when we talked about the junior tournament matches, that they really were fiercely fought out and really represented what we wanted from All Japan Pro Wrestling. And lots of stuff that happened in July more represented what we want from All Japan Pro Wrestling than anything in the first half of the year. So I really hope that this show here is the turning point to really wash away what happened in the first half of 2025, because that we discussed that at the half-year awards where All Japan Pro Wrestling didn't get a single vote for best company.
Yep, that's true.
So that is really significant. So I'm really hopeful that this show is a turning point and washes away what happened in the first half. And I want to say, of course, yes, I really love the World Tag Team title match. To me, I love this match the most from this show.
Yeah, that was a fantastic match.
Fantastic tag team title match. But what stood out to me specifically, and specifically because of the guy that was one of the guys that was in the match, in Ryukyu Honda. Honda was one of those guys that leaned into comedy the most in the last couple of months. He had his world title match against Jun Saito, which was fine. We talked about that. But here on this show, he had a match with Naoya Nomura, who was back in All Japan for the first time since, I would have to look that up actually, since 2023. It was the first time that he's back. His last match, Dylan, he lost the World Tag Team title when he was teaming with Yuma Aoyagi. He lost it against the Congo team of Keno and Manabu Soya. How about that? In Ota Ward, by the way. So now Nomura is back. And he was wrestling a great match with Ryukyu Honda.
He hasn't missed a step. Like in those 2 years, he looks fantastic in this match.
He looks fantastic. Fantastic finish with a double wrist lock. I loved it. I loved mid-match when they did the spear battle, when they just wouldn't lie down on the mat. They just kept going up, running into each other, throwing suplexes, throwing bombs. This one was what I want to see from these guys, from the new guys, from the younger guys in All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. A big success for them for a junior main event for sure in All Japan. Did better than the G1 shows at Ota Ward.
Yes.
There.
The first one, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They bounced back a little bit for the Takeshi one. So they did better than that one. I do have to say, we did get some talk. Irv came at us on Twitter and said we need to respect the Pro Res Love era junior division. And let me say, we liked that. We both did. I didn't like Kondo's reign because it was Voodoo Murder stuff. After that, yes, I do totally agree that he did have good matches after that ended. And Hayashi's reign was pretty bad. Like the long reign, not because of him, but we read the list of names, Stricken. The most memorable one was Muda going for the title. Like it wasn't a good title reign. Like I'll be honest. But there was a lot of great stuff.
Probably not after we went through the name, but it was a significant one.
It was significant. And again, I loved it.
It was a reign when the junior title was in the focus of major attention in the company, and that has not always been the case.
And that's true. And Remy said the same thing on YouTube as well. He commented and said that was his favorite era. Was that era with Omega and all that stuff was great. Like I was the big champion of Kai and Yamato as junior heavyweights. I love those guys. Like I thought they were going to be the future of the company and major stars going forward, which I didn't completely not come true with Kai, but Yamato unfortunately had the injury. But it was a great time. Like the junior division back then was good, but right now I think it has importance and I think it has talent as well. Like up and down, not just 2 or 3 guys like it was then and a bunch of outsiders. Here, there guys. This tournament worked. And again, we did get some comments saying, hey, maybe the tournament matches weren't as good for me as it was for you guys. And sure. I mean, that's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But this show proved that you can build around them to an extent, and they can deliver a fantastic match. I love this show a lot.
Me too.
About Naoya. Honda, I do agree with you on, because he's a guy, when he came in, like when he burst onto the scene in All Japan coming from Wrestle 1, I was like, remember they gave him that quick push where he advanced to the finals of the tournament against Kento, and I was like, dude, this guy belongs here. Like, then you had the GOA run with the blonde hair, the sunglasses. I was like, this guy's a star. Like, I love everything about him. He's a great wrestler. I loved his aura. Like, his vibes were just great. Then they went away from that with this weird haircut and this dance stuff he was doing. It was killing me. I was like, what happened to my Honda? Like, I called you all hits before. And now, this match, it showed you that, hey, and we talked about it, the June match. I mean, it's like you were about to skip over that, not even talk about it. Like when we were running over All Japan last time. Like, that's how, not important it was. And I didn't think it was great by any means. here against Naoya, he was able to bring it, and I just thought Naoya was so damn great. Like, he's who I wish like these New Japan guys were. Like, I wish Yuya Uemura was like Naoya, and I would love him and talk about how much I love him all the time. But then you see him. I wish Yuma Aoyagi would. Maybe this will light a fire in him, because he looked awesome in the tag match. Him going for the title. The tag match was fantastic. His buddies coming back in. They're wrestling at the start of the tournament. I stand by what I said when we previewed it. I think Nomura has to be the favorite to win this tournament going forward. And I think he'll be a great person. He's really got into it so well. And I really root for that guy, because he's gone through so many injuries. But every time he comes back, you see him and you're like, you're still you. You have not lost who you are, Naoya. Please stay healthy this time. I'm begging your body to comply. I know it. I've lived your life, man. Please. Like, I'm praying to God above that his body will stay fresh, because he is a game changer player. Like, mark my words. If he sticks around and they have him in major spots, like, he could be something for this company. And the fact that they also did this number, it shows that they haven't lost the fan base completely. Like, even with what happened at the start of the year. And I said it. Them cutting a promo with Suwama saying that was a great sign that they knew that things needed to change.
We needed Suwama. We needed him to be the voice of reason.
And you didn't. For New Japan, we've yet to get that kind of proclamation that has led to anything. Like,
who could that respectful figure be that tells them?
Well, they tried that with Tanahashi last year. The problem is that they didn't follow anything. Like, they didn't follow anything he said.
No, and he also said that he would do something against the House of Torture, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, all of that happened, and they didn't do anything. Like, here, he gave his promo, but then they actually did. That was followed up by action, and we saw it with the tournament, and we see it with the tournament going forward with Odo, and we see it with Nomura coming back, and we see it with the kind of matches they're putting on. So I love that fact that the company feels like it's really heading into the right direction, and they've got some good momentum for the first time pretty much all year.
Yes. So let us look at the show as a whole. It's started out with a 10-man junior tag. 8 of these guys were in the tournament. Musashi Naoki, Ryo Inoue, Seki Yoshioka, and Shota Kofuji. By the way, Kofuji, really good. I was trained
big fan.
In Osaka-style wrestling, of all places. His trainer is Masao Inoue. Yeah, that's good fundamentals.
Yeah, sure.
They defeated Dan Tamura, Fuminori Abe, Hikaru Sato, Seigo Tachibana, Yuko Miyamoto. 10 minutes. Each guy got some moves in here. Was a good opener to get the crowd going. So on this show, multiple guys worked multiple shows on this day. This was a very busy day in Tokyo. Not only did All Japan Pro Wrestling run, 0-1 ran today with a Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka main event that ended in
He's not leaving.
30-minute time limit draw. Yes, they uploaded the match, by the way. I've not
cool.
it yet, but they
I'm gonna watch it
on YouTube. Yeah. Basara ran Kurken Hall today. Apparently very successful for them. We don't get numbers, but it looked like a good house for Basara at least. So Yuko Miyamoto was wrestling on the 0-1 show, and later on we're going to talk about Kengo Mashima, of course, as well. And this was a good opener. Then we got to the comedy portion of the show. Takashi defended the Triple Crown. Oh God, no! The Nakamura TV title.
Yes.
Not the Triple Crown, folks. No.
This would be the nightmare. I mean, this match all along was my nightmare match, but let alone for the world title.
What happened with Kushio suddenly like spitting blood? What the hell was that about?
It was to add drama. You don't understand. Drama? Yeah, you don't understand the drama, the dramatic tactics that Jiro Kuroshio, Japan, Tokyo knows in his wrestling.
Quick real talk though about Jiro. I think his entrance has completely jumped the shark. I noticed it first time at this Shinjuku Face 20th anniversary show, which by the way was a really good show. Check that out on Wrestle Universe. He's going through the crowd and he hugs a person. And both times when he did it, it was a female that he did it with. And he just doesn't let go. Like he's hugging this person for about a minute or so, and he's just not letting go. And I'm not a fan of that because, I mean, now you can expect that to happen in a Ikemen match. But if you're a person inside a venue that has issues about stuff like that, that could be really traumatic. And especially if it's really awkward for you that this guy that you don't even know is just A, hugging you, and B, just not letting go of you. That's not a good idea.
Well, we saw it when he tried to kidnap the child that time against Yuma when he was in the carnival. She started crying. That's when the interest shark.
Yeah.
Jiro, he hates kids and hates women. That's what Striga said.
That's not what I said.
I'm kidding. Yeah, you know, I'm never a big fan of like any kind of like touching the fans, but I mean, for that show, I mean, that's like the Dino crowd, right? Like, I mean, he does the same kind of stuff, right? Even more pronounced. With his sake.
You know, Dino. I would say Dino is different because this is a character that has been well established over the last 20 years. And you know that he's eventually going to kiss an audience member. I know that it's probably not the best either. But Jiro has picked that up recently now, and I don't know. It's not that something that I favor. With the Brahman brothers, there's an entrance. There's a different kind of level with that. For example, they specifically tell you before the matches to not bring your best purses or your best stuff to the matches, and they give out raincoats as well. They tell you before what's happening with the entrances, and there should be a similar disclaimer with Ikemen entrances.
What we need a disclaimer on is him just wrestling in general. So we can try not to watch it. All of these people that you've said are people that I hate so much and think are some of the worst wrestlers ever. If any one of them came up to me for any reason, like, you know, I would try my best
punch them in the face. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, when I have legal correspondence to that, if this crazy Jiro Kuroshio came up to me and tried to hug me, could I punch him in the face legally?
We should discuss that.
Because I'm pretty sure that I could beat him up in a real fight. Like, I'm pretty significantly bigger than him.
Let me ask you this though, Dylan.
Yes.
Do you think you could beat up Daisuke Sekimoto in a real fight?
I would never even test. I would never want to fight Daisuke. He seems like a very nice guy. If he hugged me, I'd definitely give him a bro.
I would give a hug back with Sekimoto.
I'm exactly.
That he's a good hugger and not an awkward hugger like Tokyo, Japan.
Well, like I said, he's not annoying, so I actually like him. You know, like big props to Daisuke Sekimoto.
So Daisuke Sekimoto turned out to be the partner of Davey Boy Smith Jr. as they defeated the Hokuto-gun team of Hokuto Mori and Kuma Arashi when Sekimoto won with the diving body press off the top rope on Hokuto, I think he pinned. Yes, he pinned Omori. So he is going to be in the Odo tournament now, and he is X, and as X, he is facing Rei Saito in the first round of the tournament. I think he has good chances to make it to the second round at least, and then we'll see what the plans are with Sekimoto. So Sekimoto said that he will retire when he is 50 years old. He is now 44. He has some time left, but he will not go overseas anymore, which is, of course, it's sad for me and sad for the fans in the US, where he's very popular as well. But Sekimoto, he has made his choices, and now we can enjoy him in different companies that are not Big Japan Pro Wrestling. He's still working there as a freelancer. But him and All Japan Pro Wrestling really brings back great memories, Dylan, with him and Yuji Kobayashi being on Asia Tag Champions, their matches against Ryota Hama and Akebono, great stuff there. I'm hoping for some more great action with Daisuke Sekimoto.
Yeah, Sekimoto rules. I mean, you're not going to get any arguments from me, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think that seeing him here is cool. I do also want to go back. I need to put a little bit more respect on Tokyo's name. They have him listed at 5'11", 198. which I thought I was pretty well bigger than him, but he's actually he's like 20 pounds smaller than me and the same height. I'm still bigger than him, but I would still try to fight him just because he annoys me. But still, I didn't want to disrespect his height and weight. As a wrestler, we're very sensitive about this. So I do apologize for Jiro for calling him too small. Sakamoto, he's awesome. And I think that it's great that he's getting a chance to come back to All Japan. He was a really logical choice now that I think about it. I think bad job on us for not bringing him up since he lost to Big Japan. Like I said, he was a really logical person to be X. And I think he's got a shot to win the tournament, to be honest. He's a fresh matchup. Can give somebody, whether it's June or Yuma, gives him a fresh match for the title. And I think nobody thinks he's what he used to be. But he's still, especially in big matches, he will deliver. Much like the big dog Shuji Ishikawa. Random shows, not always the greatest, but if you give him a spot to deliver in, he's pretty much a solid bet that he's going to come through. And I expect that to continue for the next 6 years for Sakamoto.
Yes, absolutely.
Great get. Do you think he's going to be a long-term guy for All Japan?
I hope so. I hope that
in
the last couple of years for his career, he should really be a guy that's... he totally also fits what we said about All Japan Pro Wrestling before. I mean, he is a guy that brings this game that we want to see from All Japan Pro Wrestling, that big heavyweight style.
Yeah, exactly. He's a perfect fit stylistically.
Yeah.
And he's another guy that he has a lot of fresh matches. And I think that's something they need because that's a problem with a lot of their title reigns. You have a guy as Triple Crown champion, they might even go on a good run like a Yuma, and then you run out of challengers that are a part of the company. So you need somebody like a Sakamoto to come in that can really give you a fresh match. So I think he's a great person. And somebody you're not flying in from America or, some random country in Europe. He's a local guy that you could bring in. So I think he's a great signing and a great wrestler that can hopefully be utilized in a way that shows him to have great matches in the future.
So I just read up on the backstage comments on this All Japan show, and as it turns out, is that Rei Saito has to get shoulder surgery, so he's out for the foreseeable future. And Naoki Doi has volunteered to take Rei Saito's place in the Royal Road tournament, the Odo tournament, which would mean that we would get Daisuke Sekimoto versus Naoki Doi in the first round. That's not a match that I had on my bingo card.
This is like 09 dream match right now. When I first came into Japanese wrestling, if this match happened, people would lose it over here. Instead, here it's just a random Odo tournament match that will probably go 7 minutes. First of all, get well soon, Rei. We love you, Rei Saito. Yes. Always respected you, even more than your brother on this show. Sure, Doi's a great kind of fill-in type of player. Gives Sekimoto a good win. Or hey, why not? Have Doi run the table. Do it for it for his son. Do it for his son and win this tournament.
By the way,
and fight his other son.
Naoki Doi announced that he is running a All Japan versus Dragon Gate show for his 25th anniversary show in Shinjuku Face in November. That's going to be fun too. So people have been calling out all kind of matches, like for example the Yoshiokas teaming. I threw out Yoshioka and Seki Yoshioka against Naoya Nomura and Takuya Nomura, which would be a match I would really love to see. But it's Naoki Doi. Naoki Doi, he is a buffoon. He's a crazy guy. So he will book crazy matches. So I'm thinking we'll get somewhat of a Doi darts match, mix all of people up. And he needs to be booking some fun stuff too. For example, who's the smallest guy in Dragon Gate? Daiki Yanagiuchi, probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So put Daiki Yanagiuchi in a tag team with Ren Ayabe.
That could work.
Put them against each other.
I like to see him cross bridge his history like main event Doi, Yamato, and Rei Saito teaming together versus Jun Saito and then some other of his partners throughout his history. I want him to crossbreed All Japan Dragon Gate with his own history on there.
Would be cool.
But yeah,
that's a cool announcement. That's came away right. Like really, people loved that announcement.
And Kai wrestles one match for All Japan and one for Dragon Gate. Double duty Kai. But yeah, no, that's a really cool idea. I'll put some more thinking into that because when I saw it, I was like, hey, this is cool. Like a cross promotion show. Doing it for fun. Like you said, it's not meant to draw a big house or anything like that. It's just something for his anniversary that I think everybody will be on board with. And it's a cool thing to have two very different stylistic companies historically, but always kind of intertwined in their own way, come together again.
Right. One more anniversary. Musashi is having his 15th anniversary special tag match on the Kirken Hall show that opens up the Odo tournament as well. And he's teaming with Seki Yoshioka to take on the Michinoku Pro team of the great Sasuke and Taro Nohashi. Obviously, Musashi, a trainee of the Michinoku Pro dojo, so he's having his anniversary against his former teacher. That's really cool match.
Saw him in M-Pro many years. So it is a very cool match for him. Big shout out to Musashi, doing some great work. And I hope that this goes well for him and he continues. Him and Yoshioka both, I think, have done really good work this year. So hopefully they continue on.
I'm hoping that once Seki Yoshioka has one of his anniversaries, that they get Hanzo Nakajima in, trainer of Seki Yoshioka, of course.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
like
what
60 years old. Probably.
I think he's a trainer. I think he's I don't know if he's still running his wrestling show. I'm not sure about that, actually.
Okay, they said he's 58 years old.
Yep.
Here, Hanzo.
Yep.
He hasn't wrestled the last year, so.
Yep, that's right.
Hopefully Hanzo's doing good wherever he's doing
well. Yes. All right, let's return to this show, Dylan, here. We had the debut of the... I mean, we talked about Naoya Nomura versus Rich Honda already. That ruled.
Yeah, it was great. We love it.
We had the debut of the Havoc trio of Shotaro Ashino, Zion, and Odyssey, beating the Saito brothers, Jun Saito, Rei Saito, and Senior Saito. The best thing I can say about this is that it's great to see that Shotaro Ashino is so happy with his
What a weird group. These three... What would these three talk about together?
Yes, they go out to dinner, and what do they talk about? Do they talk about Magic the Gathering?
I don't think either of these people have ever played any card game. Like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh!
Would baseball be something?
Zion was some kind of athlete. I think he was like a rugby guy or something, right? So
he did. What did he do?
It says rugby.
Yes, he has rugby.
Yeah, does
he was married to Harley Cameron?
Yes, he was.
Oh.
Yeah. So Odyssey has a football background. Zion has the rugby, and Ashino doesn't have any sport. Yeah, he just has a wrestler. He only knows wrestling. But isn't he a fan of football? Liverpool?
I would have to find out. I know that Hideki Suzuki is a fan of football. He's a fan of Juventus Turin.
Yeah, Juventus. Yeah, like that's totally different. That's not even the same league.
Not the same league, but the same sport.
It is the same sport. I mean, you are right about that. I will give you that.
Browsing to find out about Ashino. This was a nothing match. Come on, let's just.
It was okay. Like I said,
it was okay. Yeah,
like I said, like the Saitos have a fun gimmick together. I feel bad that Ray got hurt. Like I said, Zion's kind of improved. Odyssey was fine. This gimmick is this trio is so weird that I don't know what to think of it. But still, it was better than what was to come.
Was it?
Yeah.
I liked the match. Right now,
you liked Talos?
Yes, I thought that they brought out I mean, not the best in each other, but I liked this tall heavyweight clash for what it was. I would not say that this match was great or anything, but and I wouldn't say it was bad either. I would rank it I would probably give a 6 out of 10 for this match.
Okay, I will say this: it probably was the best it could have been, but I was so down on it because of what got announced afterward. with the tag team. I will say, like, Ayame doing the death roulette on Talos was incredible.
Before we go to that, Dylan, Shotaro Ashino, he is a passionate fan of Arsenal FC and Metallica.
Arsenal, that's who it was. I thought I got him. I apologize, Ashino.
And he's a darts fan, and he respects Kurt Angle. Seems like
makes sense.
A cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like he's legit. None of those things any of these big guys have in common, but hey, I'm sure they'll find...
There's more in this trivia here on Wikipedia. When it comes to bottled beer, he doesn't use a glass and prefers to drink straight from the bottle. He's my guy.
Okay.
Love you, Ashino.
Yeah, he's like a blue-collar type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. He's like, man, I want to watch... I mean, I hate Arsenal as a fan. I will say this, but like, that's fine. Like, no disrespect there. Talos and IMA, I probably didn't disrespect it. Now that I think about it, it was good. Like, you were right. I was wrong. IMA and Talos, I was thinking about some of the stuff they did. It's like,
I mean, they had a perfectly fine match structure with Talos, like seeming to be in position to beat Ren Ayabe multiple times. Ren Ayabe had to fight out. He fought out of the choke slam twice and then beat him with the death roulette. And that Talos is a tall and big guy. He's
over 7 feet.
Yes, and weighs over 300 pounds allegedly, according to Cage Match. And Ayabe got the death roulette, that spinning Falcon Arrow, done really well on Talos.
It looked incredible. Yeah. And also, I thought this was probably like the hardest I've seen Ren work. Like,
yeah, he still is very rough. Still moves around
he's very
rough. But he's trying.
And at least and against Talos, it really helped him because he got to be an underdog. Because in every other match, he's the big guy. Mm-hmm. Like here, he got to fight the giant. And I thought he actually took some bumps you never see him take. You saw him try harder than he usually does. He sold
because it wouldn't make sense, right?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he never gets to show that side of himself, and it's a shame because he actually is pretty good at that. Like, it seems like he did a good job selling and bumping around for Talos, but obviously against literally anyone else on the roster, that's not going to make any sense. So, it actually, now that I think about it, it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't any kind of great shakes, but considering the expectations, I thought this definitely overachieved. You were totally right. I was wrong on that. Yeah, you were totally.
So they're going to be a tag team going forward. We'll see about that.
I don't like that though. I still don't change my opinion.
Why don't you like that?
Because I don't know, like, how is this team going to fit in the current crop? Now they have to wrestle smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
We get normal IMA back, which I am not a big fan of at all. Talos is untested in this kind of match. Maybe he'll be better. And again, he overachieved against Ren. How are the other guys going to wrestle? I feel like you're going to have to be put in a situation where everyone else that goes against them will now have to wrestle around them.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's kind of not a great place, considering the title match we had after it, which I thought was a phenomenal match. And I don't think they can have that style of match with an IMA and Talos, but it gives them a place. Like, on the other hand, like, I don't expect work rate greatness for them.
You know?
But if you have two big guys wrecking shit, that's not that bad. When you think about it.
You know, so Talos, right? He's a guy that has done pretty well for himself in All Japan so far.
He has. He's very over, too. Did you notice how big the crowd was into him?
Yes. Yes, that was really good. And I think that he carries himself well for a guy his size.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they want when they put these two together in the tag team. Because Ren Ayabe notably has issues to get the best out of him and his height. Maybe that's the way that they want to show him when they pair him with Talos, to have a guy to guide him and show him, okay, we are this tall, we need to do that in a wrestling ring.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because this guy had no real notoriety or like any kind of success in America, but he's really like fit in so well.
It's good. So
yeah.
All right, so we have 2 matches left on this card, Dylan. After the Renaway Talos match that was well received by the audience, we had 2 more matches that were even more well received. And especially the tag team title match. And I was not surprised. We talked about that earlier here too, that you were a big fan of this match. I was a big fan of this match. Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi business tag team dropped the world tag team title, much like it had to be expected with Yuma Aoyagi going for the Triple Crown next week. They lost to the tag team of Hideki Suzuki and Kengo Mashimo. Kengo Mashimo, earlier on that day, on August 3rd, he won the Iron Fist tag team title in Basara with his partner Ayumu Honda. And he is also the 2AW tag team champion with his partner Kyu Mogami. So he is now a triple tag team champion with 3 different partners. And Dylan, Kengo Mashimo, 20 years into his career, 24 years into his career, he still kicks ass.
I think there are very few people on this planet that love Kengo Mashimo more than me. We have to start that off right away. I thought he was fantastic in the carnival he was in this year. I was so excited when he got announced because I thought, okay, in 2016, he had that big run in All Japan where he was like Kento's rival. They had the big draw. And their title match was excellent. And I was like, man, Kengo Mashimo, this guy rules. He was one of my original guys, along with Madoka, like Hagane Shino. So I will always, always, always love Kengo Mashimo. The thing is, he's actually still great. It's not just I like him a lot. It's that he freaking rules. He is a great wrestler. He fits in so well teaming with Hideki on top of it. And I think this team is like a perfect pairing in a lot of ways because they're both at that kind of not the top tier of the card, but upper mid card, but highly respectable at the same time. And I think their styles work together so well. I love that they match up so well. That's something I love about All Japan in general. Even with Ayabe and Talos, you have business tag. You have Hideki and Mashimo. You have the Saito brothers. You have Ayabe and Talos. All of these guys fit together. They're a real team. In New Japan, it's like Taichi and Ishii, who are great wrestlers. I love them, don't get me wrong. But how do they really fit together that well stylistically? When you look at them, Ishii has never once listened to a Visual K song in his life, I don't think. So it's they don't really fit together that well. Here, everybody just goes together. Musashi and Yoshioka, even. And I think Kengo and Hideki is the next in line for that. I thought Aoyagi, really felt like he was in a mood to try his best and show that, hey, I'm ready for this title shot. I'm ready for the Triple Crown, by God. And I thought he worked so hard against Hideki and Mashimo. Kento is a known commodity. We know what he's about. But I thought Yuma was the one that really was okay, this is the guy I know. This is the one I said was one of the best workers in Japan. You're still there. And the tag match was just excellent. All 4 of these guys delivered big. I loved the title change. And if this is the Yuma Aoyagi we get going forward, we could be in for a really strong end of the year for All Japan here, because I thought this was a fantastic match.
Yes, like you said about Hideki and Kengo Mashimo, they work so well together. They are both submission artists, but in a very different way. While Hideki Suzuki, he will put you to sleep in various forms and various types. We said that before last show. He did put Yuma Aoyagi asleep in an opening match on the tour. Kengo Mashimo will just rip your arm apart with the Mudo and different arm submissions. So that really adds up well. With Hideki Suzuki, the elbows to the stomach, the elbows to the upper body that he threw on Yuma Aoyagi looked so awesome, and Aoyagi sold it extremely well. In the end, the finish, man, I love the finish so much with Kento Miyahara kicking out of the double arm suplex, but it was the barest of kickouts
Yeah, this was so good. Yeah.
It was extremely well done. 2.99 really. And then he did the super version of the double arm suplex, the double arm suplex hold, which looks fantastic when he does it.
So good. Yeah.
Man, I love this match. This could be easily one of my favorite matches of the second half of this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. This was awesome. And I think, again, that Hideki can go so realistic in their wrestling. Like, they make you want to believe in them, that their matches, they want to win. Like, they're wrestling to win. And I think that's such a valuable commodity in a modern day wrestler. And they just get it. They just get wrestling. Like, and I just love them so much as a team. I can't wait to see what they do with them. I hope that this is a long title reign. I know sometimes the belts can jump back and forth, but I think you could go a long way with them as a team and maybe build up to, I mean, I don't know who the team they would have in mind, the next man up or whatever.
Yeah, you put up the teams. I mean, Ray Saito being out with the shoulder surgery, that could be a long term. We don't know that yet. So maybe Jun doesn't have a partner for the Real World Tag League this year. We'll see about that.
It'll be Doi.
Could be Doi, of course. Yes, they could do that. They need to find someone for Ryukyu Honda, I think.
But what if they just put, what if they put him and Anzai back together?
They could. How about this? How about Ryukyu Honda and Daisuke Sekimoto?
That would be great. They need to give a partner to Daisuke. They've already kind of paired him with Davey, though. Yeah,
I don't know if that's a permanent thing.
They fit together stylistically. I will say, like, if they wanted to do that, I mean, I like your idea better, but again, maybe Anzai and Honda and Daisuke and Davey. You have Omori and anybody like from his group. They could be team pretty much.
They could do two teams too.
Yeah. Omori Good will have two teams. You have Ashino teaming. I mean, good God, Zion and Odyssey together as a team, if you want.
So they're setting up stuff.
They have options.
We were Tag League already. Yeah.
And Nomura as well. Like who will he tag with? Yeah. You have the Aoyagi. You have Yuma have three different partners: Kento, Atsuki, and Naoya.
The laser tag champion. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So yes. Amazing match here in the semi-main, and it was followed by the final for the Zennichi Junior Festival 2025, in which Atsuki Aoyagi overcame Rising Hayato in almost 30 minutes. And when I looked across Twitter this morning, this match also came away very good. I thought it was good, but not as good as the tag team title match. Still, I thought it was cool to see them getting the proper All Japan main event treatment, which included a wild brawl on the outside that had Rising Hayato jumping from the higher floor, from the upper floor of Ota City General Gymnasium down to Atsuki, and I think he cut his he had a cut on his head from that, I think, or from the brawl outside too.
Yeah.
But it didn't keep bleeding, so it was good for him. But it would have added nicely to the match if his blonde hair was all bloodied up. But still, though, the match built nicely to the portion where they, in the end, in the final minutes, did all kinds of high spots with the Lion Salt and the Sid Vicious, which is the top rope version of the Lion Salt for Rising Hayato. And of course, in the end, the 450, the Firebird Splash for Atsuki Aoyagi, who won the match. First part of the match, like I said, brawl. Second part, both guys getting somewhat of a comeuppance. And final part was just crazy stuff from the top. This match was very even in a lot of ways. And it kind of took away from what we said about Aoyagi earlier in the tournament, that he was the underdog. I think I would have liked it more if one of those guys would have been an actual underdog in this match. And they also didn't really back up on the leg injury that was worked over by Fuminori Abe in the last tournament match. So if these parts had been included in the match that they planted seeds for early in the tournament. I think I would have liked it more. Still, though, good match.
I think that as a match, I thought the tag match was a little better. But what they successfully achieved in this match was that it felt like their Super Bowl almost. Mm-hmm. like they fucking went off. I thought that the blood added so much, especially the end result. When they cut to Hayato lying in the corner, the blood streaming down his eye, like he was almost crying, like tears of blood. I thought, like, this could be an iconic moment, one of the best of the entire year. And I just thought that they were so damn great here. Like, this was a phenomenal match. And I wish that they had more not build to it, because obviously the tournament built it up, but more buzz heading into it. Shout out to Michelle on Twitter, Pureso Ishikawa. She translated an interview Rising Hayato did on her blog, and it was great. It really gave a lot of cool insight heading into the match. But I think to a lot of English-speaking fans, I don't know if they saw that, or that maybe even the fans in Japan might have noticed that, but how deep this match really was. So the way it ended, the visual at the end, and I think Hayato is just a guy that gets it overall. Like I said, not just the wrestling, but how he carries himself. Like I said, that moment at the end, it was set up perfectly. The blood helped a lot. I thought this was an absolutely fantastic overall. This would be like, if you count everything surrounding it, again, I think I actually liked it even a little better than the tag match. And I mean, I had that tag match at 4.5 stars. But I think that match was better as a match. But this had this felt even bigger, and it felt like a changing of the guard moment, even though it kind of wasn't. I totally get what you're saying. And I kind of mentioned, remember on our last show, I talked about how I liked how Hayato worked on top against Inoue that led to his big loss. And I thought that surprised me, because that's not really something he's ever done. And if we had seen more of that here, I think maybe that could have made it a next level win for Atsuki. Yeah. Rather than just, okay, this was a phenomenal match between. It's like Atsuki didn't really take a big jump forward. It's like they both took minor jumps forward, instead of somebody feeling like they really was like, oh my God, he overcame the odds. What a huge, he's taken a step to the next level. It felt like, okay, these are two great rivals, and he got the win this go round. But it could, if they wrestled 10 times, each man would win 5, which is it's cool though. I still like that, but I get what you're saying too, and I love the visual at the end with the blood. I just thought was so amazing. That's one of the most memorable moments of the year to me in terms of a wrestling moment. I thought they did an excellent job, and again, Hayato, I continue to be a wrestler, and Atsuki looked great too. So phenomenal match. Like I said, 2 straight 4.5 star matches. Yeah. For me, that means something, because I'm kind of a hard grader. I haven't given a single match in the G1 a 4.5 star rating. And this show I gave 2. So that tells you.
It was a great show, top to bottom. Really, really great show.
Yeah, everything was, and like you said, they set up stuff for the tag league. You had a great return with Sekimoto. The IMA and Talos match was better than we thought. Great return for Nomura as well. You set stuff up for the Odo tournament. And you had Jiro there as well. So not everything's perfect overall.
I don't know if they have, well, they probably announce it after we record it. I'm presuming that they will do the junior tag team title match next weekend on the show that also has a Triple Crown match.
Do you mean the All Asia? Or just the regular
junior title? The junior title.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So what we have now for August 10 in the Water Arena Matsumoto is, of course, the Triple Crown match, Jun Saito against Yuma Aoyagi. We have a 6-man tag team match, Dylan. Hokuto-gun, Hokuto Omori, Koma Arashi, and Takashi, which, by the way, it translates, the way his kanji is written, translates to other florists.
It fits him.
It fits him.
Yeah,
they
I
go
believe it.
against Seigo Tachibana, Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan, and Shiro Koshinaka.
I think we have to pump the brakes on this All Japan being back stuff right now with a match like that.
Well, wait a sec. I have more for you, Dylan.
Okay.
A singles match. Ryo Inoue goes against Hideki Suzuki.
Now that I like. That's my kind of match right there.
And we have Zennichi main unit against Havoc, Kento Miyahara, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Musashi against Wataru Ashino, Zion, and Odyssey. Presumably the junior title match between...
Wait, hold on a second. Kento and Davey and Musashi, they're all part of the same group?
They are the just Zennichi main unit.
Okay. I thought you were saying they were part of a group. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And presumably the junior title match with Atsuki Aoyagi challenging Seki Yoshioka. So that could be a good card.
Yeah, that's good. I thought you said Zennichi Jidai for a second. No. I was like, wait, what? Like, no, I think Davey didn't join that.
That's gone.
Okay. Yeah, no, that could be good. Definitely looking forward to the main event. June's title reign is not for me, like objectively to this point. But I'm hopeful, again, if we can see the Yuma we saw in this tag match, look out. Like, maybe we can finally have this really break through.
Maybe we can finally have that.
I hope so.
Third attempt at the Triple Crown, I think.
Yuma?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he wins the belt again, yeah.
Yep, he's oh man.
He's had other matches though.
Yeah, please finally let him have a proper run. What will be added probably is going to be like the debut of the Talos and Renaya tag team. I can see that. I don't know yet, but that makes sense.
Yeah. No, like I said, you warmed me up to him, and I wasn't liking it as much when I watched it. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm kind of down with this. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Okay. That's as much as we had for today's show and wanted to talk about. Really hyped for All Japan Pro Wrestling going up. It's a feeling that I didn't have in the last couple of months. We have the G1 coming, the final days of the G1 coming, the 5-star Grand Prix is going, the Dreamstar Grand Prix is going on, Tokyo Princess Cup is going on, lots of tournaments going on. I have the Hayabusa and Masaru Tanaka match still to watch, so that's lots of good stuff in Japanese Pro Wrestling.
Definitely watch that All Japan show. Like, it was really great. The G1, like I said, it's not the most interesting to me, but if we're being honest, pretty much every show at least has one very good match at least, and maybe a great match here and there. So it's not like it's all bad. Like, the wrestling is pretty good in the tournament. I think wrestling-wise, this has probably been one of the stronger G1s, like top to bottom, honestly. It's just hard because, one more consistent one. There's yet to be those like great matches. But at least for the last 5 years or so, I thought it's been one of the stronger in-ring G1s. I hope they can build interest in somebody in this tournament. So it's not all bad, like I said. I know I've been kind of down on it, but it's hard for me to like get into anybody right now, the way things are going. So hopefully they get into that. The Stardom tournament, the first 4 nights I watched, very easy to watch. Like, I enjoyed them more, I would say, than the New Japan tournament. But we started to see things heat up with Hanan and May. And I think they're doing some good, interesting things. I want to see how things play out with that, even though it's so weird, the format. And Marigold, I'm going to get on that. Definitely check out the Patreon. As Striga said earlier, patreon.com/Eastern Lariat. I'm going to catch up to Night 5s of the Stardom and catch up on the Marigold tournament. I'll try and wrangle up Sandre after we did our previews for Stardom and Marigold. He'll show up every once. He's not a regular, but I will find out when he has free time, and we'll do some shows talking about things. And of course, same day reviews of the G1 every night. You can't wait for us to get to a free show. You get on Patreon. Pretty much by the end of the day, you'll hear me talk about whatever the day's events were and where things are going. And so very good stuff. Again, very good value this month. Just $5. You get everything. And I'll try and even jump on the Princess Cup as well. I've gotten some on the YouTube. There's been an influx of Tokyo Joshi Pro fans that have commented on our last couple of videos. Oh. So I want to service those fans a bit more, even though we have had I've commented back and forth. If you comment on the YouTube videos, you will definitely get me talking to you. I've never let a comment go unnoticed. So please do that. I enjoy talking to all the fans, whether it's on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, wherever you want to comment. Please do it because I enjoy it very much. So thank you guys for listening. And I can't wait to hop back into the cockpit once again.
Absolutely. So I will add up on that. Thank you all for listening. This has been the Eastern Lariat. Goodbye.
Sayonara.